In setting up at the top, I've chosen to deal with CPL. I could look at just intensity, as I might if I'm wondering about fluorescence, but in this case, I'm dealing with CPL, so I've selected that. And I've told it each initial read is only a half a second. The reason that I had it set earlier at a second and the very tall, highly luminescent peak at 612 overloaded. So I came in here and turned this down to a half a second.
Okay.
Now, below that, well, here.
Now, if you're working with very, very, very small signals, then you
Yeah,
would
well,
change that not only to seconds, but you could change that to minutes, presumably?
Yeah, but I know it's always seconds.
Okay,
The
so
way
you
we-
just go to a
The way
larger
we
number.
we extend time is to say a half a second is one read of the signal. And down here, I'm able to change the reads per datum. And if I go here, for example, and set it to be 4, then it will do this half a second 4 times, i.e. about 2 seconds.
Okay,
And I get an improvement in signal to noise.
right.
If I want to, last night, for example, I had this set at 64, in which it really is slow, however, it's a whole lot of data. And,
That's what you would use for a very small signal.
and obviously it
Or to
slows
watch.
down the repetition. However, the signal to noise is greatly improved. Square root of 64 is 8,
Right.
so you get a big improvement. Now, down further, we have the ability, we're doing the wavelength options, and I've asked it here, the first wavelength on the left, I said is 570 nanometers, and the following one, or the last one, is 630. That was chosen because that's where most of the activity one sees for the europium. Although going to 500 up to 700 uncovers several small peaks.
And how do you change that? You've got a drop-down menu there, you've got a drop-down arrow?
I can do, no, I just click here. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, there we go. I click there, and I'll make it 520.
okay.
And then I can click here, and what I often do is to go to 710. Good. So the things will change as they have on the screen to our right, all of the charts. It computes for me and says you've got 381 data points, and if I was going to do 4 collections, that would do that 4 times. Good. Now, having done that, if I choose, I can get rid of them charts, and I end up with the
Full screen for
ability
data.
to go and so forth.
Right.
But let me emphasize, over here with chart selection, this is, what I've done is to choose to see the left and right luminescence, the total intensity, and the left non-polarized, left polarized, and circular polarized. And this row of numbers is checked saying that I want to post them, i.e. when I ask to store the data, these several go with it.
Oh, so for instance,
Good.
when you showed earlier the long list of data sets which were collected and put over on the right-hand side of the screen, if you hadn't had posts there, then you could have viewed them during data collection,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
wouldn't have saved them as
Correct.
individual files that you
Right.
then would later have access to.
Yeah, exactly correct. Now, let's say we do this, and I want to see the intensity, but I know there's no
Meaningful,
meaningful, well, it
There's
doesn't
any-
tell me much.
yeah.
And the linear polarization it will not post.
So plotting lets you watch it while it's being collected, but you're not anticipating that it's gonna be interesting enough to save.
Correct, exactly, well said. Now, so if I save that, the screen image will,
Be the same, because you didn't change
because
that.
I haven't changed the data collection.
Right.
Only what's going to be posted.
Right.
And a very nice point, I've just